It's quite dramatic and reads like a military fiction narrative. On the rooftop, a Japanese official came to receive them. The scene felt very strange. At departure, he was still a captain of the Japan Self-Defense Forces, but now he was being received as the head of the Yamato nation. Meanwhile, the naval vessel entered maintenance support, and the Blue Cross signal wasn't being received properly. So what happens next? The naval unit attacks a nuclear submarine. Under the protection of the Japan Maritime Self-Defense Force, it returns to Yokosuka base while assessing the situation. Admiral Tien-Silang, as agreed, enters negotiations with the Japanese cabinet to form a military alliance. During the talks, the Japanese Prime Minister cleverly shifts the issue to the United Nations, suggesting that the UN should step in and make a decision, essentially keeping Japan's hands clean. Watching this unfold, like a watchdog trying to stand on its own, the White House across the ocean couldn't tolerate it any longer. The US President personally calls at the scene, "Admiral Hai, I advise you to stop before it's too late. Disarm and stop causing trouble for the US-Japan alliance." But Admiral Tien-Silang responds firmly, "Mr. President, I will not disarm. The Seabat has already become independent as the Yamato nation. It is an armed force without territorial ambitions, a military beyond nations. If you want me to disarm, then will the United States give up its nuclear weapons?" The president snaps back. "Don't confuse people with fancy words. Without a democratic and strong United States, extremists and rogue states like you would act without restraint, and the world would become even worse." The conversation ends on bad terms. The US president immediately orders the removal of the naval unit from the 7th Fleet, intending to send the extremists to the bottom of the sea. The US Pacific Fleet commander personally arrives to take charge. He believes his subordinate Boyce has been too indecisive. The 3rd Fleet had already suffered heavy losses from a surprise attack by the jointly developed naval unit, and the US could no longer afford to lose face. He immediately orders an attack. 4 torpedoes are launched toward the target. The torpedoes are detected by the Japanese protection unit. Intercepting them with torpedoes is impossible. At this critical moment, someone makes a decisive choice to sacrifice himself and shield the Seabat from the attack. He correctly predicts that the US is using rock-like stealth torpedoes, which do not explode on impact. He's right. The torpedoes hit, causing a massive shock, but no immediate explosion. There's a sunken ship 1 kilometer ahead. Use torpedoes to stir up the seabed and disrupt the magnetic guidance of the enemy torpedoes. However, 1 torpedo slips through and hits its target. The damage is not too severe. Repairs are ordered immediately, while the commander personally calls to express gratitude. The mentor and student once again argue over their differing views, but neither can convince the other. Soon, another 4 torpedoes approach. This time, the commander determines they must be magnetic torpedoes, which explode on contact.